Hello everyone. Am I clearly audible and my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this demo session of our GIS course. Now, in this particular demo session, we are going to talk about briefly what GIS is and why it is important to know this software and what where you can apply this. And then we will talk about what all topics we are going to cover up in this course and what you can expect from this course after joining the course, right? So this is all we are going to talk about in this demo session. So let me just start with introducing us, our team. We have Vishal Prasad. He's a transport planner. He's managing this course, and I'm Gautami Kushwa. I'm GIS analyst and freelancer by profession. So I'll be taking up your session. We have Sakshi Khare. She is also urban planner and have very good knowledge of GIS. So she is also going to take few sessions with you. And then we have Aditya Soni, and he's also going to help in managing this course. So this is our team. We are a team of 4 people. And let me just quickly go through what GIS is. I hope that most of you are well aware what this particular software and tool is. But in case if someone doesn't have clarity on that, so let me just quickly go through what this software is and what you guys are getting yourself into, basically. So GIS basically stands for Geographic Information System. Now, this is a software system which takes data about position and space on Earth's surface. So you can do calculations in that data, you can manipulate this data, and you can analyze real world problems by understanding various kinds of patterns and relationships between different factors. For say, you can find out relationship between any physical parameter or economic parameter. For say, growth of any city, physical growth of any city, and GDP or economic activities, or parameters like that. Or you can analyze for say salinity in groundwater level and women health in that particular city, right? So these are very different kind of parameters. If you look into that, one I'm talking about is physical parameter, and another one I'm talking about either economic or social parameter, which we usually analyze through tabular data or theoretical or word kind of parameters, right? So textual kind of data. But if you know GIS, you can do the analysis and you can relate different kind of parameters together, and you can understand the patterns and relationships between them, right? So this is what GIS does. Now next is why it is important to learn GIS. GIS is one software which is applicable in varied domains. So if you are from urban planning and transportation background, you can use GIS to perform some routing problems for soil solid waste collection. Or you want to find out the service area of any health or education facility. If you are from geography background, you want to know what is the status of natural resource for say water bodies or forest in any particular region, and you want to keep a track of that. If you are in a marketing or a management kind of a field, then you want to find out the optimal location of any business so that you can increase the potential or profit from that. Or if you are in a policy kind of a domain or disaster kind of a domain, you want to understand the disaster risks and you want to plan the preparedness and evacuation for that particular disaster. So these are some of the fields where you can apply GIS if you know the software, and you can find solution to problems in these domains. Other reasons why it is important is nowadays I'm looking into job application in the field of geography or urban planning, and they ask for basic knowledge of working knowledge of GIS. So it is highly used in all the sector, whether it is private, public, or educational or academic organization. Other than that, knowing GIS gives you a spatial perspective to any kind of problem. So you have a problem which you have analyzed so far using tabular data set or theoretical or textual information or observation from field survey. But if you know GIS, you can think of a spatial component to that particular problem. and you can analyze that, right? So these are the reasons why it is important for people, especially in such backgrounds, whether it is architecture, planning, civil engineering, or geography, to know this particular software, right? So these are the things, basic info about the software. Now coming down to what we are going to cover up in this course. So we have two sets of course. One is basic and another one is advanced. So these are the topics for the basic course. So we will be starting with the theory of what GIS is and what are the requirements, what are the different kind of data sets, data structures, projection systems, and all that stuff. So first two sessions are going to be theoretical. Second one, we will be talking in detail about remote sensing. So if you know GIS, it's very good if that you know what remote sensing or satellite remote sensing data is, because a lot of analysis and a lot of problems you can understand from satellite remote sensing data if you have knowledge of that. It's not a rocket science. The data set is very simple, but understanding it is something which you should know, which you can apply to in any of your problem in your job or in your academics, right? So these two topics, introduction to GIS and introduction to remote sensing, are going to be theoretical. So we will be covering up these two topics first, so that your foundation is clear about GIS and about remote sensing dataset. And then we will move on to the software and to the practical part. That is how to install that software, how to use the plugins, then how to create those datasets, how to create vector files, how to do digitization, how to attach tabular data into your GIS data, right? That part. And then we will be talking about geoprocessing of raster data sets, georeferencing and all that stuff. Then we will be talking about how to generate maps and visualize data in a very simple, sorted, aesthetic manner. So these are the topics we will be covering up in basic course. So it's going to be 30 days or 30 hours session, like 1 hour session each day. So this is how it's going to be. And the next thing is advanced course. So we will be talking about advanced topics and concepts in that. So we will be starting with image classification, that is land cover classification using satellite data. So we'll be starting with that. Then we'll be performing land cover change detection. So this is another thing. And then a spatial analysis like land suitability for any particular problem, watershed or hydrological analysis, topographic analysis. So these things we will be performing using digital elevation model, another type of raster dataset. Then we will be generating model to automate any analysis or process in GIS. We'll be talking about network analysis. So this particular tool is used if you want to perform any accessibility kind of problems. When you find out any route as I said earlier, a routing problem of solid waste management system, or OD cost metrics, or whether you want to find out the closest facility to any particular infrastructure. So all these kind of analysis you can perform in network analysis. Then we will be looking into 3D visualization. So generating 3D models of cities, complete cities or neighborhoods, or generating terrain model using digital elevation model. So, and we will be also talking about WebGIS component using OpenStreetLayer. So these are the topics that we'll be covering up in advance. So these are the results from that. This is land cover classification, then land cover change, and the land suitability analysis. This one we performed for finding out a suitable location for new schools. Then this is hydrological analysis, terrain analysis, and model making. And this is network analysis problems. And this is the model which we created using ArcSy. So these are the topics we will be covering up in advanced course. Now this is the fees structure. Basic is going to be 5,000, advanced individually 4,000. Sorry. And basic plus advanced, if you're taking both the courses, so it's going to cost you around 8,000. Excuse me. Right. So now I'm going to show you some sample projects which we have done during our academic years and some of our internships. So these are the projects we did using all the topics which we have shown in basic and advanced course. Nothing new has been used for generating these outputs. All the topics which we have shown in basic module and advanced module, we use the same tools and analysis method to perform these outputs, right? So first one is analysis of service and facilities. Now you all must have seen census data some or the other time in your academics or in your working time period, and we know that how hectic it is to clean that data set, that is census data, and how hectic it is to read that data and to interpret it. So you have tabular data, and then you can generate maps like this to understand that data better, to perform analysis using that data set. So obviously visual analysis of any particular data is going to be more easier, more sorted than reading tabular data and values from it, right? So you can generate such kind of maps using tabular data set. So this one we did for Ratnagiri and Sindhudurg district, where we kind of plotted the availability of services in village level area. So we have census data of services at village level, and we generated these kind of maps using that data set, so that we can identify the potential area and the deficit areas where more infrastructure is needed, and analysis like that, right? Another is public transport accessibility analysis. So you have a network for different kind of public transportation systems, whether it is buses, auto rickshaws, then Grameen Seva network, all kind of road network you have, and then you can use those kind of data sets to analyze what is the last mile connectivity scenario in your city at smallest administrative boundary level. So this is that kind of analysis. Then for tracking the success of any public policy in an area. So this is regarding women empowerment policies implemented in Madhya Pradesh state, and we plotted how those services, how those policies did in each of the districts. So we got data from observation on and from field surveys, and we plotted that data into maps, so to check whether which all the areas are not performing well in that particular service, in that particular policy, and where those policies have done well. So these kind of analysis you can do. Then the one thing, land cover change detection, which I was talking about. So this is one land cover change which we have done for Ahmedabad Urban Development Authority. So you can see a change from 1991 to 2019, and another one is a temporal study of air pollution in all over India. So you can see how level of pollution is changing from 2000 to 2018 in all over India, and you can analyze which are the places which are getting more worse in terms of air pollution, right? So these kind of analysis, these kind of gifs and visualizations you can generate if you know GIS. And this is urban heat island analysis performed for Indore city. So basically raster calculated, you know the formula, how to calculate land surface temperature using satellite data, and you run those calculations to generate those final outputs, and you can identify which are the locations which are coming under urban heat island effect and which are the cool islands in your city. And then you can suggest policies accordingly on the basis of your analysis. These are the examples of 3D models which we generated. And this one is the analysis for healthcare facility in Pune city, where we plotted what is the service area of hospitals and nurseries or dispensaries in the city, and where all you can propose new locations to serve more people. And these are the few outputs generated by the participant. So if you go through this complete course, you'll be able to do all those kind of analysis. You will be able to generate those kind of maps. And these are the outputs few participants have generated after the course from the assignments or from the project problems which we have given to them. So these are the maps from them. So we will be having two batches, so you can opt according to your availability and according to your suitability. We'll be having one weekday batch, which will be from Monday to Friday, evening 8 to 9 p.m. And then we'll be having weekend batch, that is on Saturday and Sunday, which will be from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., 2 hour session on both the days. So the USP of our course is that it is a very interactive course. So we'll be having live sessions every day. We'll be sharing link with you, that is going to be on Google Meets. So we'll be sharing link with you, and during the session we can discuss a lot of your problems, your doubts, so that any doubt if you are getting about any concept or tool, it will be solved then and there, right? So it's going to be very interactive session, and it's not just our material which is going to help you learn, but doubts for all the participants and suggestions and ideas from all the participants, as one thing which we observed from past few batches helps a lot for participants to learn from that. So there are outputs, there are ideas from the participants that they have experienced something in your workplace or in their academics, and they share that with us, and they discuss how we can solve that particular problem or how we can generate that kind of map in GIS. So you'll get to learn a lot in these kind of interactive sessions. Another thing is that we focus a lot on concept. So we know that we are going to discuss two softwares, QGIS and ArcGIS. So our basic is going to be on both the softwares, ArcGIS and QGIS, and advanced is going to be on ArcGIS. But regardless of whatever software we discuss, we focus a lot on the concept of why we are performing that analysis, or why we are using that particular tool only. So that in future, if you come across any new kind of software or any new kind of tool or problem, you'll be able to think on your own that what you need to do in that particular case, because you know the concept so well about the data, about the tool, or about the problem. So this is one of the best thing about our course. And then we will be giving you assignment practice assignments and projects. So you'll be getting assignments after most of the session, so that you can practice those tools, and you will get a project after completion of the complete session, for basic and for advanced separately, so that you can use all the tools which you have learned so far in that particular module for that particular project, and it will just increase your understanding of the tool here. Okay, so this is all we are going to cover up. Let me know if you have any questions or doubts about the course, about the content or anything. Yeah, let me know.